Never believe what they told you that you can't get grants for your business, because you can. So if you'd like us to cover your city and your state, make sure you drop your city and the state in the comment section below so we can make sure that we cover you. Grants for the month of February. So this month we have many grants, from home-based business grants to women-owned business grants to business recovery grants to startup grants to non-diluted grants and grants to $100,000 and much more. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde. Welcome. Please subscribe to the #1 community for real estate income, grants, and credit. So if you'd like to know what these new grants are for the month of February, those that are expiring and need to apply now, make sure you watch the video to the end. Leave a comment below if you need help with anything. So we're going to be sharing with you new grants every month, from work from home grants to SBA grants to small business grants to self-employed grants to fast grants to financial assistance grants to startup grants and much more. And we're going to be updating our calendar section on my website, AskRinde.com, where you can download February's grants list. And you can view our calendar section for the latest updates on grants. The easiest way to prosper in business is through relationships and connections. So that's why we formed our accountability group at AskRinde to help entrepreneurs from all around the country prosper and grow in their businesses. Make no mistake about it, business is actually a stepping stone in your journey to wealth creation. And you want to actually understand how to properly not only set up your business so that you can actually not only get grants, but also business funding and resources coming into your business. But you want to create a business that's going to be an asset to take care of you and your family and your future. So make sure you connect with us in our accountability group by going to my website at AskRinde.com, clicking on join, and getting started today. #1, Alabama, Huntsville, the Innovate Alabama Grant. $250,000 in grants. So Huntsville's recently announced the 4th round of non-diluted grant funds of their Innovate Alabama grant program. So we've actually been covering the Innovate Alabama since its inception in 2020 when they launched the supplemental grant program. And since then, they've actually launched and given out over $10 million in grants to small businesses. And the goal of this grant program is to actually help businesses stay afloat, foster new technology, and also expand their businesses and make a global impact. So this is actually a great growth grant in helping these businesses expand from not just being national, but also play on the international stage and start to actually expand their businesses across seas. Now in the past, some of the criteria for this grant was quite stringent, but they've since loosened the restrictions. And they've actually made it more easily accessible for businesses that fit the criteria to apply for this grant program. So they simply want to know what you're going to be doing with the grant money. And previously, they actually kept it only within Alabama as who can actually apply for this grant. Now they're opening it up. They're allowing businesses outside of the state in order to apply, and they're actually making it visible and possible for businesses that are out of state to apply for this grant. So if you're an out-of-state business and you're actually going to be applying for the Innovate Alabama grant, you must realize that you can actually apply for the grant, but they're going to give you up to 12 months to actually relocate to Alabama after receiving the grant. So this is actually a criteria that you must adhere to if you're actually going to be a recipient of this grant. So to qualify and to apply for this $250,000 Innovate Alabama grant, you must meet the following criteria. #1, you must have received the SBIR grant, which is actually the Small Business Innovation Research Grant. As we shared previously on my channel about the SBIR and also the STTR, which is actually the other grant that you must qualify for and must have received in order to actually apply for this $250,000. So the STTR is actually the Small Business Technology Transfer Grant. And you actually must have been a recipient of either one of these in order to be able to qualify, step up, and apply for this $250,000 grant for the Innovate Alabama. And last but not least, you must be located in Alabama. So this is actually a straightforward process. As I've shared, they simply want to know what you're going to be doing with the money for this grant. They know that you've gone through the process of getting the SBIR and also the STTR. It really is making it easier for you to just apply for this Innovate Alabama $250,000 in grant. So the deadline to apply for this grant is February 16th at 5 p.m. And you can get more information and apply for the Innovate Alabama grant by going directly to their website at innovatealabama.org. #2, Massachusetts, Cambridge, the Small Business Grant Assistance Program. $7,500 and $15,000 in grants. So Cambridge is administering a new small business grant assistance program, and these are ARPA funds that they've allocated to be able to help small businesses in many ways that are actually still not only recovering, but trying to actually get their footing in the marketplace. So they've made money available from these ARPA funds, and companies can use these grants to apply for everything to cover expenses from rent relief to payroll to equipment purchases and overall operational costs. Now for this grant program, there are two types of grants. They actually have a brick and mortar grant, which is actually for $15,000. And they also have a home-based business grant, which is actually for $7,500. That's one of the things I like about Massachusetts. Massachusetts has some of the best grants in the entire country because they actually think about the entrepreneur overall. They know that their entrepreneurs there are not just brick and mortar, they're also home-based businesses. They're also consultants. And many times we see some of the best grants come out of Massachusetts. And then we highly encourage you to actually, if you're applying for this grant or you're in this location, you can actually go for it and they make the process easier. So that's one of the reasons why we like grants out of Massachusetts, because they make it seamless for the entrepreneur who's struggling and looking to try to get capital, and they actually have decent and substantial amounts that can really make a change in their business. By them getting and receiving the grant, they can actually make a big change with their business, and that's one of the great things about Massachusetts grants. So to qualify and to apply for the $7,500 or $15,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number one, you must be located in Massachusetts. Number two, you must have 50 employees or less. Number three, you must have a brick and mortar business or a home-based business. So either or, if you're actually a brick and mortar or a home-based business, you can actually apply for either one of these grants that fit the criteria. So the deadline to apply for the $7,500 and $15,000 in grants is February 16th. And you can actually get more information by going directly to the website at cambridgema.gov. Number three, Maryland, Cumberland, Allegheny County, the Cumberland Downtown Business Grant. So Allegheny County Board of Commissioners is launching a new grant program for small businesses in that location. And the grant program is actually meant to help small businesses in the downtown area that have been greatly affected by an 18-month construction project. Many brick and mortars and businesses that actually depend on foot traffic have been affected by this project. It's actually a $16 million project, and it's greatly affected not only disrupting their footwork as far as their foot traffic to their businesses, but their signage being seen, etc., and they've lost a lot of revenue. Some of these businesses even posted on social media begging for help. So seeing the distress and the decline of some of these businesses, Allegheny County has actually realized the impact it's made on them is actually hurting the economy. So they're actually making this grant program and prepping it to be able to bring it to help these small businesses recover and also sustain while the project is still ongoing. So they're still establishing the grant amounts and the full terms of the grant program. But what we know so far, in order to qualify for this grant program, you must be located in Allegheny County, and also you must be affected by the construction in that location. So we're actually going to be sharing more with you once they actually launch all the criteria, and we'll be giving you the details, but we'd like to give you the details of the grants early because it positions you so that you can actually apply for the grants early. Many times with grants, you can actually clinch and get yourself in there early and be a recipient by actually having speed on your side. So the Commissioner Board has a meeting on February 8th where they'll actually be laying out the terms for the grant, and the applications open on February 9th. If you'd like to get more information and apply for this grant that's going to be launching in that location, you can actually go directly to their website at gov.allconet.org. Number four, New York, Lowville, the Building Business Fund, up to $100,000 in grants. So Naturally Lewis, an economic development agency focused on economic development as well as economic growth in the Lewis County area, has recently launched their new 2024 grant programs. So in total, they actually have 4 grant programs that they're launching simultaneously. Now the goal with these grants is to actually cover a myriad of issues and actually help not only businesses, but the entire community and also the entire demographic within Lewis County. So in total, the grant programs have allocated $930,000 in grants to administer through these 4 grant programs. And the grant programs include the Small Things Big Impacts Fund, the Community Connections Fund, the Building Business Fund, as well as the Vacant Property Revitalization Fund. So for entrepreneurs, the Building Business Fund is actually going to be up to $100,000 for entrepreneurs in that location. So the program is actually going to be a match grant program. I've actually talked about match grants here on my channel, where you're actually going to be matching the funds that they put up, and they're going to be matching what you put up in order to actually get the end result, which is actually getting money for your business. So in this case, it's actually going to be match funds, and the goal is to actually help your business with growth. So they actually want to see your business expand and prosper. And the grant program is being administered by the Community Economic Development Program, and the applications open on July 1st, and the deadline to apply for this grant is September 28th. So again, this is one of the ones that we're giving you the information up front so you can actually position yourself if you're going to be applying for this. This is for entrepreneurs. This is actually to help your business expand and grow, and this $100,000 will be available for businesses that do apply. So if you would like to get more information and apply for this up to $100,000 in grants in New York, you can actually go directly to their website at naturallylewis.com. Number 5, Massachusetts, Westboro, $5,000 in grants. So the town of Westboro's Economic Development Committee has launched a new small business recovery grant program Now, these are actually ARPA funds that they've allocated to help entrepreneurs in that location, and they're going to be actually administering $5,000 in grants and giving this grant out to entrepreneurs and small businesses. And similar to some of the other grants for business assistance that I've shared here on my channel, these grants can be used for expenses such as rent or mortgage payments, utilities, payroll, and also operational costs. Now, to qualify to apply for this $5,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be located in Westboro. Number 2, you must have 35 or less employees. Number 3, you must be a for-profit business. Number 4, you must have $1.5 million or less in revenue. And finally, number 5, you must have been in business since January 1st of 2020. So the deadline to apply for this $5,000 in grants is February 28th, and you can get more information and apply for this $5,000 in grants by going directly to their website at westboroma.gov. Number 6, California, San Diego, up to $1 million in grants. So the County of San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce is providing grant assistance and grant funds to small businesses and entrepreneurs in that location. So much so that many businesses have been impacted by the flooding and also damage to not only equipment, but also their property and also their business. So their business can't even operate because of the damage that's been created by this flood. So the new administrators of the Diamond Bit, the Business Improvement District, has been reaching out to businesses in District 4 to help them with flood-related expenses. So much so that they're expanding support and garnering support from different sources to raise up to $1 million to help businesses that have been affected by the flood. So to qualify and to apply for these grants, you must be located in District 4 and you actually must show a negative impact for your business. So as I shared, this is actually going to be up to $1 million in grant funds that they're going to start dispersing in an emergency fashion to many of these entrepreneurs. So if you fit the criteria and you'd like to apply for these grants, you can actually go directly to their website at sdblackchamber.org. Number 7, Montana, Bozeman, $18,000 in grants. So the Prospera Business Network has recently announced the 6th year of their impact grant. So they've been doing this consistently for 6 years in disseminating grants and focusing on grants specifically going to women-owned businesses. So this is actually a women-owned business grant that they've administered over the last several years, and they actually have various amounts that they administer through this grant program. They choose 3 women entrepreneurs, and they actually have the $18,000 allocated to split among those 3 female entrepreneurs. And their goal is to target 3 women-owned businesses to help them grow, innovate, as well as expand their businesses. So as part of this grant program through Prospera, they actually have 3 tiers in their grants. The first one, they actually have an urban grant for $5,000. The next one, they actually have a rural grant for $5,000. And finally, they actually have a statewide grant for $8,000. So all total is actually $18,000 in grants they're going to be focusing on giving to 3 women-owned businesses. Now keep in mind, this is actually a pitch competition. We actually show you how to do pitch competitions in our Grants Masterclass, our Popular Grants Masterclass. And you need to actually be aware of that this will be a pitch competition, and they're actually going to be looking at what you can actually bring to the table and why you really need the grant over another entrepreneur. So to qualify and to apply for this up to $18,000 in grants for your small business, depending on which one you're actually going to be going for, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be located in Montana. Number 2, you must be a for-profit business. And number 3, you must be a 51% women-owned business. So the deadline to apply for this up to $18,000 in grants is March 8th. So you actually have time to apply for it, and that's why we're sharing the information early. So if you'd like to get more information and apply for this grant, you can actually go directly to their website at prosperamt.org. So these are just a few of the new grants in new states. We couldn't cover all the locations as we try not to keep the videos too long. So if you'd like us to cover your city in your state, make sure you drop your city in the state in the comment section below so we can make sure that we cover you. Also, make sure you join us for our Grants Masterclass if you want to know the formula for grants. If you want to know how to properly set up your business and get going so you can actually prosper in your business, set up a business that's going to take care of you and your family in the future, you want to make sure that you actually connect with us and take our Grants Masterclass. You can do that by going to my website at AskRinde.com, clicking on Grants, and getting started today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email me anytime. My email address is AskRindeNetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.